Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Nate Moore Show. Our show brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host again this week, Dave Sheets, and with me is Coach Moore. And Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. The Tigers opened the season last week with an impressive 44-14 win over St. Vincent St. Mary's. In what areas were you most pleased?
I was pleased everywhere. I thought we played well across the board. I thought our defensive line played really well. Really pleased with them.
All right. The fans saw a record-setting performance from junior wide receiver Andrew Wilson-Lamp. Tell us more about that.
Well, our quarterback distributes the ball to whoever the defense determines where we have space to deliver the ball to, and Andrew Wilson was the guy who was a recipient of that, and he made the plays that he was asked to make. So, congratulations to him. Proud of him.
You mentioned the play of the defensive line. Is there anybody on that defensive line that impressed you in any individual performances?
I thought Manny McElroy played really well. Had a really nice game. Excellent.
How would you grade out the performance of your special teams?
I believe their efficiency grade was 80%, which is pretty good. I think our kickoff coverage was good. It always helps when your kickers kick the ball out of bounds a bunch of times. That helps out a lot. We're good on punt. Some things that we need to shore up on our punt return. And kickoff return did a good job. Obviously, returning one for a touchdown is very good.
I know once you get out on that field, you and your staff and the players are kind of focused and in a zone, but could you feel, I was told, the electricity in the air that night, the crowd, the student section, the overall atmosphere at the game? What was that like?
It was a great opener. Paul Brown Stadium was packed. It was very good energy, and all those things help the kids. They feed off that energy. It helps them play just a little bit harder, knowing that there's people up in the stands that have their back. So, it was great.
All right, we'll continue with Coach Moore here in just a few more moments on the Nate Moore Show. We'll meet a Tiger player as well, but first this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Get up to $1,600 in rebates or special financing.
And thanks to Reliable Heating and Cooling, joining Coach Moore and I is senior Preston Hodges. And Preston, first up, tell us your jersey number and what positions you play.
I wear number 3, and I play outside linebacker and running back.
Now, Preston, as a junior last year, you were part of a Tiger team that came up just one win short of a state title. What was last year's season-long experience like for you?
Last year was very fun. Got to play with a lot of my friends, but at the end of the day, we came short of our goal, so we look to change that this year.
Now you're senior, and how are you accepting a leadership role on this year's team?
I'll just try to lead as great as I can and try to help lead this team to victory.
All right, and when you look at the linebacker position, why don't you tell us about some of the skills that are needed to be successful, and then some of those same skills with running back?
You just got to be very physical. Our coaches put us in the right spot every week with the game plan and scouting reports, and at the end of the day, you just got to be physical and go full go.
All right. The Tigers are home to face Glen Oak this Friday night. How about a scouting report from your vantage point on the Golden Eagles?
They're very fast, and they like to run the ball, so it'll be a challenge.
All right. Thanks, Preston. Appreciate it. Coach, tell us a little bit about Preston, his impact on this year's Tiger team.
Preston's a 3-year starter. He's played a lot of football for the Tigers, so he brings a lot of experience to both sides of the ball, really, even though he hasn't had as many carries as he has tackles. He's worked hard at that in practice. All those things that people don't see. Leader in the weight room, works really, really hard. I'm very proud of Preston.
Well, after a victory in Week 1, you turn your attention now to the Glen Oak Golden Eagles at home Friday night at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. Glen Oak always a very physical team. I know you like to match up with teams like that and experience that. How about an overall comment on their program in general?
It's a great challenge for us. We get a chance to take on another Stark County team, which is a great honor. So we're just looking forward to taking the field against Glen Oak. They've got a great receiver, cornerback with a Michigan offer. It's going to present a lot of challenges for us. So it's hard to tab something else as a rivalry game for us, but this is a rivalry game in its own way, and we're looking forward to it.
Preston mentioned the fact that Glen Oak likes to run the ball. What are some of the formations you'll see with their running game?
A lot of tight end and fullback sets, but with some spread. Pretty multiple, similar to us in that way.
Okay. And defensive-wise, what do they like to run, and what have you seen on tape?
Once again, they're very similar to us. 3-4 personnel, but play a lot of even front, especially a lot of under front. Blitz some. I wouldn't say blitz a lot, but big quarters coverage base.
All right. So we know what they're going to want to do. What are you looking to accomplish this week besides putting it in the win column?
Well, that's the most important stat. Score more points than they do. We want to be very efficient on offense, and we want to stop the run on defense.
Excellent. All right, we want to thank Coach Moore and Preston Hodges for joining us on the show this week. The Nate Moore Show has been brought to you by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Hey, it's Nicolina, your midday diva from Q92, and the Stark County Humane Society would like to invite you to our first ever tailgate party and puppy bowl hosted here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Hi, I'm Jackie with the Stark County Humane Society, and our event will be hosted Saturday, September 14th, 2019, 6:30 p.m. Doors will open. It is $75 per person. For more information, go to our website at starkhumane.org. On behalf of myself, Nicolina, thank you.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Swing featuring Tiger Swing Band Director Jason Neel. We're on the air with you every Wednesday night following the Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. I'm your host this week, Dave Sheets, and with me is Mr. Neel, and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dave, for having me back again.
You bet. The Swing Band performed at halftime of last week's game against St. Vincent St. Mary's. It was your traditional swing show. Mm-hmm. And how would you say it went?
Well, all things considered, I thought the band did a nice job. And when I say all things considered, I mean that was actually our first performance, really, of a field show in uniform. And in years past, we would have performed a preview for Cuyahoga Falls. We weren't able to do that this year. Mm-hmm. The fair show, our fair performance got canceled. So really, our first time marching in uniform was in front of our home crowd. And I thought there were some nerves out there. You could tell the young members were a little nervous, but overall I thought they did well. They prepared well, and I thought we got a nice reaction from the crowd. I think people enjoyed the show, and it's certainly a good starting performance to build on.
And as in years past, you opened with your traditional swing show.
Mm-hmm.
And now tell us what makes that swing style of music so special to you and the band.
Well, 1938, that was the popular music of the day. George Bird shows up in Massillon. He changes the whole idea. The concept of halftime show is now showtime. You're putting on to entertain the crowd rather than just to kind of play some music. And so that popular music of that day was swing. And that's a historical tradition that I think we've embraced around here. But if you think about it, jazz is really the only true, or maybe the first American invented form of music. And so there's something just great about swing music, that it's got a wonderful beat, it's got a wonderful rhythm to it, and I think there's just nostalgia that goes with it. So all that kind of history, tradition, just the jazz, American music. I don't know if that answers your question, but there's certainly a good feeling when you play swing music here in Massillon.
Of course, everybody knows there's new turf at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium this year. Does the feel of the new turf make any difference in the way that your band members move around on the field?
I'd probably have to say no, but we do really like the new turf. I like the look of it. I love the OB in the center. We got to get on that in early August, even late July. You know, we were able to come into the stadium toward the end of our practices and maybe, you know, run our pregame entrance, because it's really, really important to be able to try that entrance in the stadium, because you know, you can't simulate the stands and the fence that we got to march through and get into the end zone and things like that. So we love the new turf, but it's very similar in feel to the old turf, so that's a good thing for us.
Great. Now, just like the football team, I know that on game nights the band has several notable traditions. Can you share with us what happens, say, from the end of school on Friday till the pregame routine?
Well, at 3:15 on game days, we get to go into the stadium. You know, we do our run-through, we do our final run-through of our post-game, our halftime, and our pregame, and we do it in that order, so that the last thing we rehearse is the first thing we're going to do at the game. And then we let the kids go for a few hours, get some dinner, come back to the armory. You know, we usually have some music on in the armory. It's really kind of a party atmosphere. The kids are real excited, and you know, they're hanging out. Some kids you'll see dancing. Some kids you'll see you know, getting into uniform at different times. But they're hanging out and having fun. And we have we tune up the band. We will inspect for our uniforms. We'll sing the alma mater together. Is a very nice tradition that I love to hear the band sing in that room.
Right.
You know, I give them my last thoughts before we leave, and then we actually march out the armory garage door. It's kind of a really cool thing, marching out the door, and we actually raise a flag at the armory. It's a Tiger Swing Band flag that flies above the armory while we're at the stadium. So we put it up when we leave the armory, and we take it down when we get back. And we have one of our seniors raise that flag and another senior lower the flag, and our staff kind of picks, you know, a senior that we've seen outstanding leadership and character from, usually over their 4 years, but not just that, who's done a great job lately in leading the band. And like I said, that's a staff decision where my entire staff gets a vote in that, and you know, we try to pick someone who's doing a great job for us, and I think the kids see that as a big honor. And you know, then we'll march to the stadium and we'll put on the pregame show from there.
Excellent. We'll have more with Mr. Neel here on Swing in just a moment, but first this word from Howard's Tiger Rags.
Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon has the best selection of tiger apparel in the area. And once again, Howard's Tiger Rags is the proud sponsor of the Swing TV show on WHS-TV. Be sure to check out their large selection of infant and toddler apparel. You can even dress up your favorite pet in tiger gear. See their large selection of memorabilia along with mugs and glasses and your favorite tiger jewelry. How about a license plate holder or a tiger hat? Howard's has one to fit your style. Stop in at Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon, and don't forget to like them on Facebook.
And thanks to the folks at Howard's Tiger Rags for sponsoring Swing. The band has 6 home games to prepare a show for this year. Describe for us the process that it takes to create a halftime show each week.
Well, we start in April of the year before, where we have a brainstorming session, and we invite our students to be part of that, and we talk about, well, what kind of themes and what kind of shows might we want to do for the following year. And in fact, that's where this week's show came from, was that brainstorming meeting. They don't all come from that, but we try to look at, what could we possibly do? And then it's a matter of finding music that fits the theme, that's also playable in the time we have to learn it. And then from there, it comes to getting that music to fit within the time frame we have. So sometimes we'll cut the music just a little bit so that it fits our show, because we always do our opening routine every week. And then from there, it's a matter of designing the routines and formations. And typically I'll do that, but sometimes I'll get some help. I'll get an idea from anywhere I can find it. Doing so many different shows year after year after year, it's tough to come up with new ideas all by yourself. So I really value anybody's input and try to give the students even some opportunities to get their ideas out there. But it takes quite a while to write the routines and formations, and we use a computer software to do that. And then we pass out those what we call drill charts to our leaders, and they help place the band members on the field where they need to go. And then those members write the instructions into their music, and we kind of memorize the music and the routines at the same time. And then we kind of wean ourselves away from that, and then it's all from memory. And so it's a process, but it's a fun one, and it's fun to be creative and see the final product.
Absolutely. Now, besides the Swing Band Review, which is coming up on September 21st, what other shows or events will the band be participating in over the next couple of weeks?
Well, since you mentioned the Tiger Band Review, let's just put a little plug out there for Alumni Band.
Right.
Because we are going to have our Alumni Band on the 21st.
Okay.
And the rehearsal's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we have a dinner at 5 o'clock for the alumni and all of the current band. Okay. So that's free for anyone participating in Alumni Band. So go to tigerswingband.com and register. Alumni, the more the better. And so that's the 21st. And then the week before that, we're going to the Medina Band Show. And it's been a number of years since we've been there, but I really like that band show because there's a lot of bands that don't get to see us hardly ever. Okay. And one of the things we find that is really, I think, taken for granted around here is our opening routine. Fanfare, Tiger Rag, Carry On, we get to see it all the time. Right. But these bands who don't ever see that, it's really impressive. It's a great routine. It's a full field presentation, and it's moving quickly, and it's real exciting. So the times we've been up to Medina, they have gone crazy for our opening routine. And then the show after that is entertaining as well. So we're excited for that. And then the next week, the 28th, we're performing again. We were invited to go back to the Buckeye Invitational Band Show, which is always a favorite of a lot of our students, to get to march in Ohio Stadium and to get to see the Ohio State Marching Band after we perform. So that's a great night in September. So we've got 3 weekends right in a row at the end of September where we're doing band shows on Saturday and football games on Friday.
Right, so busy times.
Very, very busy.
And finally, I know you are super excited about this week's halftime show, and you have kind of a plea to your viewers as well with this, as far as tying in with this week's show. Tell us about that.
Right. Well, like I said, this was an idea that some of our students had, and it got me thinking. They had this idea to do a game show, halftime show. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we invited people right out of the crowd to come down and participate in the show and to have actually a live, unscripted game show with the participants. Right. So it's been a real challenge for us, but we're going to have some like Wheel of Fortune type thing and Jeopardy and some physical challenges, and so there's interaction with the band, and anyone who's going to be at the game can register by going to tigerswingband.com, and there's a game show registration form to fill out right online. And so we'll be drawing 3 names at the end of the first quarter on Friday night. And they'll come on down in the second quarter, and we'll explain the show to them, and then we'll perform it right there at halftime. So we'll have a winner. We got a nice prize basket for the winner. We have about $100 worth of Massillon Tiger gear and things for the winner, and even a little consolation prize for the 2 who don't win. But no, we're going to put on a live game show. On Friday night, and this could be amazing or it could totally flop. It's one of those risks. I've never seen a band do this. I've seen bands stage game shows before, but to pull people out of the crowd and take that risk, we're going to give it a shot. So I'm excited.
Living on the edge.
Living on the edge.
All right. I want to thank Mr. Neel, the director of the Tiger Swing Band, for joining us this week on Swing. Our show is brought to you each week by the good folks at Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. For Mr. Neel, I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
I joined cosmetology because I've always loved coloring hair and different colors and makeup.
I joined media because I've always had a passion for all things related to media.
I've always had a passion for teaching other people, especially topics that I'm interested in.
I want to pursue a career as an orthopedic surgeon.
And so when I saw that we had this class, I immediately circled it on my schedule and was excited to join.
This class has made me better because it made me very responsible.
I like the relationships that I've developed in this class. The girls that are in here with me, I've really grown close with all of them.
I joined this class because I enjoy helping others and I want to make a difference.
Even like just making something and having people go, wow, that's really interesting. It means the world.
It was just a really good environment to be in. It was real hands-on, and it was just something I really wanted to do.
I joined the construction trades to gain experience in the job I want in the future.
Everything that this class has taught me will account for my career in the future.
Before I came to this class, I was unemployed, and Ms. Markley helped me get a job.
I'm going to use what I learned in manufacturing in order to better decide my career.
It gave me more knowledge on cars and gave me plans to go in the auto industry.
Massillon CTE works for me.
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 Works for me.
For me.
For me.
For me. Massillon CTE works for me.